And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Welcome to the We Stomped You Out show, the very first one presented by PopCulturePros.com. I am Steve. The host remains the same. The talent remains the same here. And first, Timmy. Boom.
What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Keith. Boom.
First of all, I want to say, why wasn't I first? And when you said my name, how come you didn't say I was second? Like in my third?
Going clockwise.
You
Well, you're
like
not.
clockwise. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Told you to put me on the bottom.
Boom.
Right into the pop culture era here. There we go. Boom.
The era of the pop cultures.
Era.
All right, you know the deal. We have a lot to talk about. Pretty much the same type of stuff that we talk about every single week. Maybe a little variety here. But as we always like to start off here, I'm going to hand it over to Keith, who's number one in most of our hearts. Talk about Brooklyn Water Coffee Roasters.
Who should be giving me a free bag soon? BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. From the roastery to your front door. Don't shut the front door, though, but to your front door. Only the finest beans are selected when brewing and roasting your coffee from BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. They take your beans and they place it over a hot fire so it gets nice and wet and moist. BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. Honestly, all kidding aside, BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com is really good coffee. I'm not into delicacy coffee, flavored coffee, and all that kind of crap, but when I tried Brooklyn Water Coffee Roasters for the first time, the first one I tried was Cinnabuzz. It's one of their high energy lines, 50% more caffeine per cup. It was really delicious. So then I ventured out and I started trying a whole bunch of other different flavors, such as dark roast, dark chocolate. It's a rich, chocolatey flavored coffee with, again, only the most delicious beans selected and roasted for you. And not to mention dark roast, dark chocolate. You're thinking you're hearing chocolate. You know, you're seeing the inches add onto your waistline.
Inches.
Teenage waistline. Onto your waistline. But truth of the matter is, when you drink dark roast, dark chocolate, you're adding how many calories to your diet, Farachi?
Absolutely zero.
Boom! And that goes for all their flavors, right? BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com is really good. Their flavors are guilt-free. There's the Jacked Up Cupcake, which is what we like to call Rodriguez, even though he's not here. We wish him the best right now. Jacked Up Cupcake is a vanilla cupcake flavor type coffee. It's also part of the 50% more caffeine coffee line, and it also adds how many calories?
Absolutely zero.
Boom. Then there's also, if you're not into flavors, it's not all about the flavor. It's all about the flavor, and the flavor is the bean itself. There's the medium roast coffee, hand selected for your pleasure. When I mean pleasure, let your mind run on that. Medium roast coffee, and if you act today, yesterday, or even tomorrow probably, and use the code MASKON, you will go right ahead and get your third bag free. But you can't be cheap. You need to buy two. I would explore the options, try all the flavors. They're all delicious. www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com. And if you order now, or anytime really, your order is guaranteed to ship within 24 hours of its roast date. Boom.
Shakalaka. All right, let's get to it a little bit here.
Why was Mama Farachi's text ignored? Let's get to that. Starting.
You know, we're doing a show. Got to do the show. The text will be there afterwards, and I will respond then.
Keith, you missed it too. She was throwing daggers on the Yankee show the other night. On Empire One, she was throwing daggers.
Oh, was she really?
She was vicious the other night. I'm not going to say it here.
Sure, yeah.
I'll tell you off the air, but yeah, she was throwing daggers the other day.
But I do have to say that I think no matter what show is going on and what's happening, Rodriguez would agree if he was here that Farachi needs to drop everything and answer his mother's text. But we can go on.
Well, she's here now joining us. She's here joining us now. All good.
No, it's true. Well,
Farachi
put her in her place, and now she knows where she stands. But truthfully, Farachi should have held her up in her place and let her know where she stands. But it's okay. We can go on.
So,
I'm just trying to cause shit for Farachi here.
You know, I just noticed, I forgot to mention to you yesterday or today, Tim, when I was watching the show back, Empire 161, absolutely said Pup Culture Pros. That's what it said down there on the ticker for one of them. Pup Culture Pros. Fix that. For all your pop culture needs, sports, music, entertainment, all this stuff, head over to popculturepros.com. We did our first giveaway. No, we don't sell any of that stuff. But we did our first giveaway for the movie Two Hearts down here in South Florida. For those of you brave enough to head to the movie theater right now, we gave away in Miami and in Tampa. And it's going on right now. It started at 7 o'clock. So
Tim, carry on my pointer for me. Hold on.
Oh, those peeps are enjoying. Oh, yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
It worked well.
Teamwork.
Yeah, that was perfect. All right, let's talk New York Football Giants. All right,
I'm going to log off at this point.
Obviously, we headed into last week in a big division game. We got Tom Seaver here joining us from the great beyond. Whenever there's a divisional game, you always think that, no matter how bad a team is versus how good a team is, and in the divisional matchups, typically they play a close game. And on paper, the Cowgirls are the far superior team. But typically, that doesn't matter. Same thing with Jets and Dolphins and Redskins Giants, Redskins Cowboys, and so on and so forth. I don't want to mention the Feagles because Brian Holmes sucks. So we headed in there. We made some jokes even on this Cowgirls defense that has just given up a ton of points. It was a stretch for me to even say that the Giants were going to put up 21. They did that and then some, but obviously not the outcome that we all had hoped, right, guys?
True. At least we're not as angry as I'm not as angry as I usually am. This was it was a good showing. But, of course, the defense now decides not to show up when the offense finally does. Again, I'm tired of hearing the Daniel Jones naysayers. I'm done with them already. If you don't like him, you should just sign off the show and go find a Jet show somewhere. He played the way he could have played, man. And like I said, even I'm jumping ahead. Two of our most successful plays. Well, one was the flea flicker, right? That flea flicker. Flea flicker should not have been even attempted because the defense was in the backfield before the ball could even be tossed back to Daniel Jones. That's how bad that offensive line was on that play. And then that jet stream reverse nonsense, again, that was all luck and speed because the defense was in the backfield before the thing happened.
Yep.
So even though there were successes, that offensive line, man, they're just, they are god-awful. But again, the defense – they do what they can, man. They do what they can. I'm glad what's his name? Peppers came back. I thought he played very well. Yeah. I thought the line played very well. And then Lorenzo Carter got knocked out for the entire year and possibly a career. That Achilles is no joke. So we'll see how that goes.
Especially at that position.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry this week. But I'm not angry this week. I'm calm and content this week. I'm not going to get crazy. Maybe.
Yeah, Keith, what'd you think?
I have to say that I feel the same as Tim, where I'm not as angry this week. But just to give that a little contrast, I think if it was week 1, 2, maybe even 3, I'd be super pissed. Seeing how we have progressed through the season and, given a little bit of a realistic vision of where we stand as a team, our performance this week was a huge, huge improvement on both sides of the ball from where we were before. My biggest contentment, I think, and probably Coach Judge too, is darn penalties. I mean, we lost this game to penalties. Quite frankly, we probably, if we played clean, would have won this game. I'm not taking anything away from the Cowboys. They fought through it. I mean, their quarterback went down tragically, and they still hung in there, scored some points. So kudos to them for really just stepping up. I think their season is done based off their quarterback going down, but they really stepped up. They didn't give up on both sides of the ball and showed up. We tried to show up, but kept shooting ourselves in the foot. It's almost as if you're in a fist fight with somebody, and every 2 punches you throw, the third one's at your own face, and that's what we were doing. We were just not hanging in there. Yeah, right. We were like, I'll help you knock me out. We probably should have had, and I'm not gonna say 2 more touchdowns, at least 1 more touchdown, potentially 2 more touchdowns, based off of penalties. That flea flicker. I mean, what was that dude? What was the right tackle? He couldn't get down. I mean, like, if you had to take a shit, what are you gonna do? You're gonna shit on the floor before you get in the bowl, dude? You can't bend down quick enough. What are you doing, bro? Like, where's your timing now? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well,
that's
listen,
basic stuff.
Listen,
get down, set, hut. Sorry,
down, set, hut.
But
there's the anger. There's the anger.
There it is.
No, but seriously, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, down, set,
no,
hut,
you're right.
Basic stuff. You learn this stuff in freaking, like, Pee-wee football. You're in the NFL. What are you doing?
Watch the ball.
I was
not listen.
So I was watching.
Ruger's getting mad with me. Hear him?
The Rugs. I was watching Get Up.
No, it's okay.
I think it was.
That's all right, Bob. Faraci got it. He's good now.
Good. We're good now. I was watching Get Up one morning, and they were talking about how ticky tack that penalty.
Ticky tack.
Talking about was, and they played back. They played back 7 other instances in the NFL this year that happened, and there was no call. So it is our luck. They were trying to get set quick because nobody saw Evan Ingram. And by the way, Evan Ingram had a really nice game, and
he's been playing well. He's been playing great.
Yeah. You see the dude's speed. Like, sometimes it's easy to forget how fast the guy is. On some of these routes and some of these after the catch, and he just takes off. You see him just turn downfield and just take off. And yeah, it's unfortunate. It's sports. We don't like Dak. We don't like Dak at all. And by the way, you probably should have taken that $150 million contract. But when you bring in an Andy Dalton, and we probably at some point or another we probably made fun of the Cowboys getting Andy Dalton in the offseason. But it's also easy to forget that he led the Bengals 5 straight years to the playoffs. He's not
I don't want to hear this. They lost to another backup quarterback. They lost to another backup quarterback. Yeah. He's not a backup quarterback.
He's not.
He's a really, really good, experienced quarterback. So I'm not worried about losing to him. I'm worried about. I mean, we lost the game on horse shit, but yeah, it's not Andy Dalton. I'm not worried about Andy Dalton.
But here's the thing. So somebody like a Coach Judge, who comes from the pedigree of the New England Patriots, dating back really to the New England Patriots' success, the New York Giants. Yes, I am giving the Giants credit for the Patriots' success. He's going to clean that up. Ticky tack, whatever. It shouldn't have been. It could have been a call. No, play clean. Don't give anybody an excuse. Don't give anybody a reason. Don't leave anything up for doubt. Get out there and play clean and kill it. And that's kind of the old school Giants way that the Patriots stole from us, and we didn't perfect, and they perfected, which is really ridiculous. But truthfully, it's the Giants way. Play clean. No penalties, kick ass on defense, and kill the clock on offense. That's Giants football. Boring, but it wins.
Hey, I'll take boring anytime. You break away a big play.
It's not
break
boring
off
for a
big play
Giants
every now and
fan.
then.
Sorry,
That's-
NFL.
To have
But,
12-minute drives, I'll take it.
Right. And to Jason Garrett's credit, he definitely made an adjustment this week. We talked about being more aggressive, and he was aggressive. This was an aggressive play calling week, and I honestly I want to see it. I would love Giants' first drive just go all throwing all deep, all go,
You know, for that was one
all
thing we
vertical.
missed a little bit
You
was
know?
the deep ball
Right.
in this game. I'm not sure it was necessarily something we needed to do, but that
Yeah,
was
but just air it out. It's nice to just air it out every now and then.
a couple of those third and
and
longs would have been nice to see them go for a 40-yard. Yeah, it would have
But
been
like,
nice.
and we'll talk a little bit more about this matchup. But against Washington, we don't have anything to lose. I would love to see the first play throw a 50-yard bomb. You miss, all right. You miss. You get intercepted. You get intercepted. This is open up the playbook. Just totally wide open. Busted wide open, and surprise him. And against, see, like the Cowboys offense, no matter what we want to say, they are full of very high level talent at every skill position. Dak, say what you will, he's putting up the numbers at a necessity. Yes. So you got Dak, Zeke, who's a beast back there. You got CD Lamb. You got all these receivers. I think their tight end went down. But to give up those amount of points to this offense, it's going to happen. And I'm just happy that the offense was able to keep up, to an extent.
About time.
But there was no way to hold that offense to the as good as the Rams offense is. Held the Rams to what, 17, 19 points, and it just wasn't going to happen. So there it is. 0-5.
We did a good job trying, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, this was by far the best game that we played. On both sides, not both sides of the ball, but offensively.
I think we're 0-25 now, but
feels like it.
The game was for unwinning team. It seemed like a very positive game, as much as you can say that. And I don't know if I'm reaching for the stars or what, but it seemed like a very positive game. It seemed like we really, from a defensive, even though we gave up 30 some odd points, and an offensive side of the ball, we really took some stretches. We really took some leaps, I should say. Danny Jones, he didn't have those fantabulous numbers, but he hung in there. Biggest issue is what we stated before, and that offensive line. What do you guys think about that offensive line?
Well, it's what's going to happen. Eventually, Daniel Jones is not going to be as poised. He's going to have Eli Manning type PTSD. He's going to start making big mistakes. He's going to start making stupid mistakes. You got to fix the line. Fix it. Or he's going to look like Eli the last 2 years, running for his life.
You know what that reminds me of? Eli, at least Eli had balls. And Eli, even though he was running, Eli had some sort of false sense of confidence that he'd be able to get into a position where he can make a play. The one quarterback I fear we're going to turn into with Danny Jones is Dave Brown. Now, Dave Brown, talent-wise, was not a bad quarterback, but the guy ran for his life. By his second year, he was terrified for his life. And when he went into the pocket, all you can see is he was worried about the pocket and not paying attention to the play. I'm scared Danny Jones. Now, Danny Jones does not look like that kind of quarterback, but listen, you get your head knocked around a bit, it changes how you see things. I'm hoping he doesn't become that type of quarterback. What do you think?
It's true. I think he's way better than Dave Brown will ever be. But I also noticed. I forget who brought it up last week. One of the viewers brought it up. He's staring at the receiver a little too long now.
Yeah,
I had noticed it in this game more than any of the other games. He's watching that. Don't watch the first. Don't watch your first pick. Watch your dump off guy or something. Wait till the guy gets open.
MLB is going to pick you.
He's staring at the receivers way too long, giving it away, and that's something he has to work on immediately. Or they're just going to keep picking him. So he's got to stop doing that right away.
Yeah, and the fumble was look. Anybody would have fumbled that ball. Do you see how hard he got? I mean,
he got smashed.
He had no time. Andrew Thomas. It was on Andrew Thomas, right? Yeah, and he just gave it up and he just demolished the dude.
Can I just say that one of the reasons why I don't have a Phil Simms jersey? Yes, Phil Simms is one of the all-time Giants players, but not to me. Okay, he is a Giant great, but he's not a great. He's not a LT level, Strahan level. Why? Okay, he's a traitor.
I was waiting.
He is a traitor.
Does his comments? You mean
the guy just dogged Daniel Jones for fumbling the ball? Didn't mention the offensive line. Now you're a quarterback, right? You're an NFL quarterback. You know the importance of an offensive line. You know the importance of being protected. You know the importance of making sure your ass is not hitting from the blind side. And what did he do? He dogged Daniel Jones. You bum, Phil Simms. First of all, your hair's not blonde anymore. It's great. Let's get rid of the bleach. Let's get over your fucking little age factor problem, little issue that you're having with your age. Let's get over it. Number two, if you're hit from your blind side by somebody that's 130 pounds heavier than you, and it's his second year in the NFL, probably going to fumble the ball.
And just a brick wall, by the way.
Right,
and not just anybody who outweighs you. He's a brick wall.
And you know what? It's probably not so much Daniel Jones' fault. Yes, can he find different ways to hold the ball to lessen the percentage of something like that happens? Sure. Is it his fault?
I don't even think on that one. I don't even think he had the time to transfer the ball to the right hand.
No, it's not his fault.
He just had the ball turned, got slammed.
What I'm saying, Farach, maybe there's techniques that can lessen the percentage of that happening, but it's probably not going to make it in his favor, whatever he does.
Overall, yes.
It's not his fault.
Get clobbered from your blind side. Into his helmet
get clobbered from your blind side. Phil Simms, you should know. And what you're doing right now is you're being a prima donna little punk, a jerk, and an idiot. I can't stand you, Phil Simms. And I erase your 86 championship, and I'll still give that to Hostetler, just like the 91 goes to Hostetler. You are a jerk. It is not Daniel Jones' fault, Phil Simms.
So do you notice how fast? And again, I watch all the games on Sunday because of the package or whatever. I've never seen a team getting, and this is just not just the Cowboys. This is every team we play. They are in the backfield so damn fast, and Jones sees the peripherals. He knows, he's like, oh shit, that guy's already here. That guy's already here. What the hell do I do? I'm gonna throw a little dump, or I gotta move. I gotta run. I gotta do this. He's gonna get smashed. He knows he's gonna get smashed. I have never, even the Jets. I'm watching the Jets game. I don't know why the Jets are so bad. I don't understand why they're as bad as they are.
Well, that's a whole other story. We're not going to get into that.
No, George, I'm not. But I'm saying they at least
call in. You can tell
they give Darnold time. They give Darnold a good amount of time. The Cowboys, they were in the backfield full of flea flicker, to where the flea flicker shouldn't have been passed back to Jones. Who's that? Freeman. Freeman should have kept that ball and took off with it because this play's broken. And that big reverse we had, they were already in the backfield by the time the ball was handed off. You can't do that. This is why he is going to have his PTSD eventually. You gotta fix that line immediately.
And it's
the reason why.
And it's the reason why you guys on Facebook and Twitter and all you commenting about Danny Dimes and let's get Lawrence in the draft. It's the same thing is going to happen. What do you think? Somebody's going to come. Lawrence is going to have a force field around him. Come on,
I'm getting so mad.
We started off so nice.
Can I just say, it doesn't matter who you draft, okay? We got an amazing quarterback. Danny Dimes is a good quarterback. The guy is what we would call in baseball a 5'2" quarterback. I don't know what the 5 tools are on football, but I'm just relating it just because I want to. But the guy can throw. The guy can run. The guy has a good eye for football. The guy is
no, Keith. He has very low football IQ, as stated a lot on Twitter.
I'm gonna virtually Punch you right in the face. He knows what he's doing. And for anybody to accuse him for getting a fumble off of a blindside clobbering, I'm not going to call it a sack, a blindside clobbering, you don't know anything about football. I.e. Phil Simms, you jerk, moron, idiot, bleach freaking Clarks in your brain, moron. But we don't need a quarterback. What do we need?
I can't wear my Sims jersey on the show ever.
Man.
I'm done with him. No, I'm done with him. I've been done with him for a long time because he's been – look, okay. I enjoy Strahan, and I'll just stray from the point for a second. I enjoy Strahan. Strahan is honest, but he's a giant. And you can tell, even though he's honest, he's a little homer for Giants sometimes. He's a giant. O.C. Umanura. You even hear him in the media when he talks bad about Giants. Why? Because he loves the Giants. Most Giant players or ex-Giant players, Pepper Johnson, they're all kind of sort of Giant homers, except Phil Simms. Phil Simms always dogs the Giants and puts us down. Why? And I'll tell you why. Because he was a little prima donna through the 80s, and when he got kicked out and then Hostetler won the Super Bowl in 1990, he realized he really wasn't as important as he thought he was. We won a Super Bowl without him. So I think he's a little sour because of that. But anyway, bottom line is, a little bit. Bottom line is we need to make sure we build an offensive line. Without an offensive line, we are crap. A good offensive line will make any quarterback, receiving core, or running back look good. Every
as I said,
an offensive line. End of discussion. Done. And our offensive line, yes, we have some talent there. They're just coming together. They're all young.
Come together.
Right.
Well, right now, they have the number one pick in the draft right now. Let's say that has
perfect. But Tim, really, all the young players on there, they're the children of the future.
Sure. Teach them well, let them lead the way. But I'm not drafting an offensive lineman at number one. I'm taking number one, and I'm selling that shit. I am selling that pick for as many picks. There's going to be a lot of people who want Trevor Lawrence now because everyone's already, excuse my language, Mama Farachi's watching, everyone's already blowing him. They want him so bad. You know what? Giants get the number one pick. I don't even care at this point if they go 0-16 to get the number one pick because I would sell that for the ridiculous amount of picks, and then you can fix almost everything in a year. You can fix almost everything.
Who's looking for quarterbacks that we can go through real quick? The Washington football team. They seem to be already done with Haskins. They brought in Kyle Allen. He played and then he got taken out. He got hurt. Anthony, welcome. Anthony, I think it's your first time watching us live. This is Raphael's podcast partner on
man, how are you? Welcome to the
Fantasy Fat Boys show.
Did you like my cat's big girl teeth?
Oh my god!
Maybe the Jets. You don't know
the Jets. So that's two now. Kind of going through. No to the Cowboys. No to the Texans. Indianapolis. After Rivers is done. Jacksonville. There's going to be a lot of teams out there looking for a quarterback, and if we do get the number one pick,
Minnesota, maybe even Vegas might be done with Carr if he doesn't produce this year.
Chicago,
Chicago,
Bears. Who else we got out there? Yeah, Trubisky's. That guy's great.
I would pull a 2004. Well, you know what? I want to talk that draft one day on a show. I want to bring that about that draft.
Absolutely, yeah.
And how they tried to screw us, but we came out better in the end. But I would do that thing. I would package that number one for as many picks as possible.
Yep.
And that's it. You set.
Just have an auction.
Yeah. You're not going to be ready in 10 years then. You're going to be ready in 5, 4, 3 years with the franchise, like that. So that's what I would do personally. So I don't give a shit about Trevor Lawrence. We're not drafting Trevor. We're not drafting another quarterback. It's not going to happen.
Don't just don't do it. All right, so let's let's dive in. I want to talk a little bit about some of the games that took place over this weekend. Obviously, we did not have the Patriots and the Texans that got COVIDed out, if you will, rain out, COVID out. And by the way, Keith, you got a little bit of pressure on you because Mama Frach asked about a fuacata on the football show. So
I saw that.
So get yourself ready. And look, if there's, I'm doing this on the fly, guys. So get upset with me. No. Anybody out there wants to join us for our picks segment? Just let us know, and we'll bring you on. We'll have a fourth member this week. Somebody
really
from the
cool
crowd.
Have on, right?
Yeah. Bring Anthony. If you want to join us.
Join us, bro.
And Keith, maybe, if he wants to come on and do the picks, then maybe you can send him the link. But were there any other games? The Dolphins demolishing the 49ers.
Hold on. Sorry, Frotch. More important to you is your own mother. No,
I want your mom on. I'm voting for your mom.
Listen, hold on, everybody be quiet. It's time to address Mama Frotch. I would not ignore you. I promise. Steve brought up the comment that you wanted me to do a fakata. I promise a fakata for you before the show is over. Carry on.
Anthony, in about 5 minutes. Let us know if you want to do it, and Keith will shoot you out the link. If not, anybody else is more than welcome to join us. But we'll give Anthony first dibs here. So just kind of going down the list, there were a number of upsets and a number of, in our picks from last week that just did not go right.
No.
Tom Brady, fourth down, Bucks lose. The Chiefs, how much money in this country or around the world on betting was lost on the Chiefs? Some from this guy right here. The Titans came back from the COVID list and kind of put a whooping up on Buffalo. The Dolphins whooped up on the 49ers. We couldn't do that. We put up 9 stinking points.
They put up 50,000.
Like, what the hell's going on, man? And so the Chiefs game and the Dolphins game, they blew up my parlay this weekend. Just it didn't work out well.
I lost a lot of games just based on logic. I was like, well, logically, Tennessee hasn't played in through 2 weeks, so I'm going to go with the Bills. And it's like the Texans have a new coach and a new this, new that. They're in turmoil. Well, I'll go against them. Yeah, they screwed me too. So I was like, all right, this is a bad week. Just a bad week.
Yeah. So let me go over the results from last week. You and I, Tim, kept pace with each other, both at 9 and 5. Keith, you were 8 and 6. It was your worst showing of the year so far, Timmy. You're better than that.
I'll take it. It's all right.
Keith goes 8 and 6, and so does Rodriguez goes 7 and 7. So now our overall standings kind of look pretty similar. Tim, you're in first place, 58 and 19. I am right behind you, breathing down. You feel that breeze on the back of your neck? That's me.
I feel it.
No COVID though. 56 and 21. I'm 2 games behind you, and then Rodriguez and Keith are battling out for that third place spot. 11 games behind. 47 and 30. Keith, thank you. Please, need better showing out of you.
I need help getting to that private chat over to Anthony. I'm not sure how to do it.
Yeah, you can't do it that way. All right, so let me. I'll get it over to.
Want me to do it through Facebook or?
Yeah, you can do it through Messenger.
Oh, okay.
Shoot it right up on the screen. Make a banner.
Yeah, we could do that
Put
too.
it right up on the banner.
Well, we could just do this. Or not. Or not. What's going on here? Technology. It's Keith's fault.
Technology.
Oh,
where did I send my picks to?
Send it to you, Mama.
You sent it to the main.
But just
closer, the main. Yep.
But just don't tell your mama I said that, because your mama knows me since I was baby
There it
mower.
is. There's the link.
All right.
Whoever wants
There
to
you go,
come on,
Anthony.
join us.
And so we'll do our picks as soon as Anthony gets here.
I repeated what you just did to annoy you.
Well,
So
before
Anthony, click that
are you,
link.
are you
or
guys
copy
agreeing
the-
with me? Are you guys agreeing with me as far as the draft goes? If we have number one
Yes.
pick, are you picking? Are you
1000%.
picking the best offensive lineman, or are you trading
Hell
down
no.
for a bunch of shit?
Well, it depends what kind of defensive talent is up top. If there's like some kind of premier talent up top, grab it and screw trading. Outside of that, yeah, trade down and just grab a bunch of potential on the offensive and defensive line. But either way, bottom line is, I say build the trenches, both sides of the ball. End the discussion.
Hey, Keith, did you send in your picks yet?
I did. Did you not see them?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're lazy.
I'm lazy. I just expect what I expect. And he's on mute. He's on mute when he wants to be heard, not on mute when he doesn't want to.
I honestly really did not anybody want. I didn't want one that double D.
Double D, double D, double D.
Mm-hmm. You want to know what I said?
I do.
I was saying. I just did not want you to hear.
Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and bring on our special guest. We'll call him Fat Boy Anthony because that's what he wants to be called. Bring him on. Anthony, how's it going, buddy?
It's going great, guys. Thanks for having me on, man. This is awesome. It's a shame that, the circumstances that had to happen to get this to happen, but I'm more than happy to be here representing both of us. So
absolutely awesome.
Anthony, who's your team, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm wearing a Preds shirt right now, but that's kind of not really. I grew up in South Florida, so I'm a Dolphins fan. I like the Heat. I root for the Marlins. The hockey thing was my oldest daughter kind of got really into hockey when we lived in Nashville, and so I have to support the Predators for that. So that's why I got my Preds hoodie on.
So you must have had some really fun conversations with our friend Raphael.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I could take it all the way back to sports conversations we had from years ago. Some of the stuff, obviously, I didn't know Raphael in 2003 necessarily when
I was just about to ask about
Steve Bartman incident happened. But trust me, when we were having baseball arguments, I would throw it out there every once in a while. So
I love and miss Raphael. Did you hear my comments towards my cat in Raphael's funeral yesterday?
No, I did not.
Yes, I accidentally unmuted and spoke to my cat.
we joined. So we joined via Zoom.
I'm not even upset about it. Yeah, we joined through Zoom, and I'm not even upset about it, Anthony, because I know Raphael well enough that he would be laughing at my ass.
Oh, he would have.
100%,
man. 100%.
Yeah. So it was like, Raphael would have loved that.
That's awesome, man.
I'm so glad to have you.
It was a great moment.
Thank you guys for I know you guys couldn't be there in person, but even doing the Zoom thing like that, the family was really happy to see how many people had a great turnout in person, but to see how many people logged in online and were there virtually for that.
And the one person I talked to his cat in the middle of the funeral. Really, yes,
yes.
I was one and only. At least I'm unique.
Yeah.
We got to chat with Ryan a little bit prior to the the viewing actually starting, which was cool.
I was actually there with Ryan when he was talking with you. So
very cool.
Yeah,
very cool. Yeah, right. And one thing I commented to Faraci off the Zoom chat was, "Holy crap! His chuckle and laugh is exactly like Raphael's chuckle and laugh."
Not to be like super weird or anything, but I'll go there for just a second. If you look at his hands, like I've known Rob for 13-ish years now, 2007. If you look at Ryan's hands though, like the hands and the way he's got like longer fingers, like their hands look identical. It's just, and even the way he talks and says certain things, like you're talking about his laugh, you see it, and it was
family genes are amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that chuckle. Keith, that chuckle that you mentioned, what it could either be, you agreed with him, and he, laughed because you were right, or
I think you're an idiot.
it
Yeah.
was that sarcastic laugh. Haha.
Yep.
Yes.
You have no idea what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yep. Oh
All right,
man.
I have never
let's
had
get
a
to our
bad
picks here.
experience with that, but yes.
No, absolutely not. No, that was great. All right, so let's get to our picks this week. We were just talking right before you came on, Anthony, that last week was just like a wash. You go into Vegas and you lose a ton of money. That's what last week did to Chiefs and 49. You guys roughed up on the 49ers, and we were just lamenting about how we put up 9 points against them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought maybe we could cover. I didn't think we were going to go in there though and do that to them. Hey, I'll take it, but that's not what I was expecting.
All right, so the rules for this very simple: straight up wins. So we don't pick against the spread per se. So let's go down the list. There is no Thursday night game this week because that would have been just wrong to do to Buffalo. Played twice in a couple of days.
and it'd be the Chiefs, 3 days later,
Oh my
2 days
God.
later. That would have been
a pissed off Chiefs team like Tim you were mentioning.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's go down the list here. Let's start off with the Broncos heading to Patriotville. Keith, let's start it off with you, buddy.
I went ahead and picked the Patriots. I know there's a lot of issues on their side in terms of injuries and availability, but to me, they're still the Patriots, and they're in Gillette. So let's go Patriots.
And they stole the Giants system.
We're going back to that conversation? Yes.
No.
You're right. We'll leave it alone.
Anthony, Broncos, Patriots.
Last I heard, Cam's supposed to be back this week, and I think if Cam's playing, I know Drew Lock is back this week too, but there's a big difference between Drew Lock and Cam Newton. Yeah, so I'm going with the Patriots. I know Stephon Gilmore may not be back this week, but I think if Cam's there, that's more than enough, especially with how banged up Denver's defense is. So I'll take New England.
Hey, Anthony,
Yeah,
I'd just like to say I really dig your setup over there with your hanging mic and your pop filter.
Wait, now, Keith, does it remind you of when we first started the Met show, the Put in the Book show? I have the same filter. I have the
Yes,
same.
no. Why
The
I say
same
yes
holder,
or no?
but it's
I'm going to
blue.
say yes. I'm going to say yes because Anthony's professional setup look over there is similar.
That's it. It's the same mic.
Wait,
It's the same mic, just blue.
Yeah.
Wait, can you run your hand up to the top of the mic and then twist it at the top?
Yeah, here.
Oh yeah, right here.
There you go.
No, he's being he's being an ass.
I was being an ass to Faraci. Don't worry about it. Yes, you'll get used to that. But yeah, no, it's a great setup. And okay, quickly, what Faraci was referring to, Rodriguez, Faraci, and I, when we first started to Put in the Book show, he had the same setup you have right there, Anthony, but it was 3 guys, and we crowded around that thing almost like we were going to make out, trying to talk into the mic.
Like here.
Yeah, like we were all like all in each other. But yeah, that was our original setup. But all that nonsense aside, your setup looks really cool,
Thank
and
you.
you sound great. You sound great.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Anyway, enough from me determined. All right, Farach.
Yes, thank you. All right, back to Broncos Patriots. I'm going to go with the Patriots as well. I just think they're going to be too much, even without Gilmore. With Cam coming back, it remains to be seen how a quarterback, a quarterback at all, but a quarterback who likes to run a little bit is affected, after coming back from COVID. So this will be a interesting, turn out there to see how that's going to roll. But I'm going to go with the Patriots. Timmy.
I too will go with the Patriots. We'll make it a clean sweep. I like Cam coming back. I'll take the Patriots.
All right, so that's a clean sweep there, right, guys? All right, next up, the Texans, who just hot, fresh off their first victory, head to Tennessee to play the 5-0 Tennessee Titans after their victory last night against Buffalo on what was amazing, just a Tuesday night game. Love it, and then my wife is like, well, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to watch the game. She was like, what game, man? I said football. Why? It's Tuesday. So she's like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. I think, hey, them's be the breaks, you know.
I'm not complaining.
All right, right. I'm gonna continue on the trend. I'm gonna go with Tennessee here. They're just clicking on all cylinders. I know the Texans just came off that win, but they just don't have the talent to match up right now. In my opinion, of course. Anthony, Texans Titans.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. Ryan Tannehill, it pains me to say it, may be like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Like it may actually be legitimate. And I feel weird saying that, but I guess we have Adam Gase to blame for that. But yeah, they're clicking right now. Derrick Henry looks unstoppable as usual. I'm definitely going with the Titans in that one.
Well, Anthony, you touched on a lot of nerves with Gase and Tannehill, those names. Gase is a piece of crap. Tannehill is underrated. I agree with you 100%. I'm also going with the Titans.
And just real quick on what you just said there about Tannehill. A friend of mine, a few weeks ago was chiming in here saying, Daniel Jones is a bust. Time to get over it. And we I've known the guy for a long time, but I'm like, if you really, if you're not, trolling right now, and if you really think Daniel Jones is a bust after 16 games, you either don't know football at all, or you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And he's a Dolphin fan, so pardon what I'm about to say, but guys gave Tannehill, felt like 20 years. Of leash, right? Yeah, and it felt like every single year it was like, all right, this is the last year Tannehill's got to prove it. All right, this is the last year Tannehill. So Tannehill goes to Tennessee, be's a backup for a little bit, and then brings them to the AFC Championship game, and now has them at 5-0. 4 touchdowns last night. He doesn't have to put up 325 yards, but he puts up 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. You take it every time.
Yeah.
So Daniel Jones, it's now 17 games in, and we're ready to give up on him.
I agree with you on that one. There's no way I'm giving up on Daniel Jones that fast. And I'm not a Giants fan, so this is just coming from the outside looking in. I was skeptical of him when they drafted him, but I definitely saw some flashes from him last year. I think if they can get him some stability with the coaching staff, which I think they'll be able to do that now going forward. And you guys were talking about it earlier. They got to get that O-line right. And it's young O-line. I do think Andrew Thomas is going to be an anchor on the left side for years and years to come. But they just need a couple more pieces along that offensive line. And the weapons are there, man. I mean, they got a ton of weapons. I love the weapons they have there. Obviously, the Saquon injury is terrible, but the rest of the weapons are still there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Where'd Keith go? Keith does this sometimes. Sorry, Anthony. He just,
You're good.
He just disappears. All right, Timmy.
Yeah, after what I saw last night, I was super impressed with that Titans defense. Them and the Bills are beating the shit out of each other. I mean, it was a hard-hitting, smash-mouth kind of game, which I like. But, yeah, I think the Titans they're ready to roll, man. I think they're ready to roll. So I'm going to take them 6-0.
Those Josh Norman memes and Derrick Henry, fan gold. Solid gold today.
They were smashing each other last night. It was good to watch as a football fan.
Is this the cat?
Busy.
Who's got the big girl teeth? So, Anthony, I want you to imagine. We're doing the Zoom thing, and we're talking. We're talking about good times and whatnot through text messaging, and then all of a sudden I hear, Who's the girl with the big teeth and baby talk? I'm like, Keith, you're off mute. And I didn't know. And so we talked about this right before the show started, and he's like, no, it wasn't me. I said, Keith, your name popped up on the Zoom as if the noise was, no, it wasn't me. And then I told him what I heard. He was like, oh shit.
It wasn't me.
But and then he was like, do you think everybody heard that? I was like, oh, I mean, unless they muted us, then
it was confirmed after I asked you that everybody heard it, because I got like 10 text messages.
Well, no. Yeah, so you heard on the Zoom, but I don't know if they heard it in the funeral home, which would have been.
I don't think they heard it in the funeral home.
That would have been
I hope not.
I didn't hear it.
But like
while
I
was
said,
there.
Rafa would.
You
Rafa
would have heard you heard a little chuckle coming from the casket. A little chuckle out of
But
it.
this is my girl, and I don't give a shit if anybody criticizes me for loving her. She's my cat.
That's
That's
good.
okay,
All right,
Mom. You got big girl teeth.
What's
big
her
girl
name?
teeth.
What's her name?
Minnie.
Minnie. So who does Minnie have? Texans, Titans.
Minnie is definitely taking, without a doubt. I got you 100%. The Titans. Hold on. Titans.
All right. Next up on here are the Browns. Didn't think it was going to be this good of a matchup, but the Browns
Hold
heading
on.
to Pittsburgh.
Minnie took the Browns.
Nobody asked Minnie yet. Tim, who you got? Browns, Steelers.
She's a cat. She don't give a shit what you think. You should know that about cats.
I think if I ever make a "We Stomped You Out" T-shirt, I'm gonna make it in the front and on the back. Keith's gonna say who has the big girl teeth. I never explained to anybody what the hell that
means. You should.
I'm gonna. Hey, all we need is a new logo, and I'll make them.
Big girl teeth.
This was a tough one. This was a tough one for me, but that Steelers D is absolutely ridiculous. I think they're going to bring the doo-doos back down to life, right back down to earth. I'm going with the Steelers. Steelers for me.
Anthony, Browns, Steelers.
I'm also tagging along with the Steelers on this one. That defense is, they were amazing last year, and they just didn't have the offense to support them. And this year, while the offense isn't what it was a few years ago, it's playing a lot better than it was last year. And I just think especially without Nick Chubb, I think it's going to be a little bit harder for them to get the running game going against Pittsburgh. If I'm not mistaken, Pittsburgh has the best run defense in football right now. Teams are averaging like 2.5 yards a carry against them. They're just unstoppable.
It's ridiculous, and it puts me in a tough spot because I got Kareem Hunt on my fantasy team, and he's been a beast. He scores. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you got to start him.
He's a must start. You're going to get him at the 2-yard line. We know firsthand how the Steelers defense is. So I'm also going to go with the Steelers. And by the way, how smart do the Steelers look now, based on Le'Veon Bell? How smart are they? How dumb are the Jets? We knew
the Jets were dumb.
Yes,
that
goes without saying.
Well, you got to look at the best teams and the talent they give up. For example, let's do a little cross-sport reference here. I am the New York Mets, and the Braves just passed on signing a long-term deal on a very highly touted pitcher who has been good for the last 5 years. But the Braves didn't even offer them anything. As a New York Met fan, what do you do?
Braves have historically had some really good pitching staffs.
Right. Braves have historically passed on players.
Wait, hold on. Are you
left?
In this comparison, are you calling the Braves the Steelers and the Mets the Jets?
I am right. Kind of,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the Mets would be like, holy crap, he's coming from the Braves. Let me sign him, 7-year deal, $218 million.
However, the Braves didn't pick up on him. It's probably a flag. Pay attention.
Yeah, or Keith, when I wanted to sign Marcell Ozuna, and everybody, no, let's not sign Marcell Ozuna, and then the Braves pick him up like for $12 million, and he goes off. All right, let's get back to football.
Right. Do you want to talk about Darno too?
Oh,
Let's call Rodriguez so he can give us all a professor teaching lesson on why we should not worry about. Anyway.
All right. This one will make us happy, and we'll start with.
But I'm thinking the Ravens.
Anthony, you see what I got to deal with on this show? Ravens at the Eagles. This is a no doubter for me. The Ravens are gonna put a hurt on this team. And oh, by the way, how much longer do you give Carson Wentz?
I give him as long as it takes for the Browns to beat the Steelers this weekend. 2 quarters.
2 quarters.
Okay.
All right. Anthony, Ravens and Eagles.
Ravens, the passing offense has struggled, and what better matchup for it to get on track than going to play the Eagles?
Absolutely.
I feel bad saying it, but yeah, I think they're going to steamroll through Philly in this one. So I'm taking Baltimore.
We might get that huge game from Hollywood Brown this week.
Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, this is the guy.
This-
All right, Timmy, Ravens and Eagles.
Clean sweep. Ravens all the way.
All of us agreeing on all these, never a good sign.
it usually doesn't end well.
All right, here we go. No, we're gonna save this one for last. Falcons at the Vikings. Two
I'm
teams
picking the Lions.
that are
Oh wait, we're not that game yet.
The Lions.
two teams struggling, to say the least. Head coach gets fired down in Craplana. All right, so we'll start with Keith.
Yeah, I know that their head coach got fired. I know there's a lot of turmoil down there, but the reason why the head coach got fired is because there's a lot of talent that the head coach is not capitalizing on. And I don't know if it's his fault or not, but I think this move puts a fire under everybody's ass, and I'm going with the Falcons.
Timmy.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I too see the Falcons winning this game. I think the Vikings are trash. I think they're just complete trash. So, and the Vikings have been obviously they're losing really, really bad when they lose, but I think they've been right there. So I'm going with the Falcons.
Skull.
Anthony.
Yeah, two really bad defenses. I'm going to lean towards the team that has Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, and I know Matt Ryan hasn't been great, but I'm going to lean with them. I agree with Keith. Firing the head coach like that, usually you see a nice fire coming back from the team, kind of like Houston winning last week. So I'm going to roll with Atlanta on this one also.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons also. There's I don't know if Dalvin Cook practiced today. They might not have him, which I mean, I was going to pick the Falcons anyway, but that leads me even further in that direction. All right, let's see what we got up next. We got the Lions. All right, Keith already picked this game. Lions and the Jags. Anthony, we'll start with you.
Oh, gosh, I'm actually going to go.
It's a rough one.
It's in Detroit or it's in Jacksonville?
It's in Detroit.
I'm gonna go with the Jags.
Oh wait, hold on. I completely just lied to you. It's in Jacksonville.
I'm either way. I'm sticking with the Jags on this one. I don't think Minshew has been completely terrible all year, and I don't really trust that Detroit defense to slow them down offensively. I'm gonna roll with the Jags on that one.
All right, Timmy.
The Jags are becoming dangerously close to being my new jinx team. Dangerously close. But I will take the Jags to win this game. If they lose this week, we know who the new jinx team is.
It's a clincher. I'm not touching this game in Vegas this week. I'll do it.
Yeah,
I got to find out
Jags,
next week. And Anthony, just Tim last year, no matter how we picked the Tennessee games, it never went his way. It just didn't happen.
Nope, they were my jinx team last year.
Just stay away from the AFC South. It's got to be something over there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Keith, are you sticking with the Lions?
Sticking with the Lions. A couple quick reasons is I just think the Jags are on a continuous demise. I think they suck, and I think they can't get out of their own way. I think the Lions will win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. This is a pick 'em kind of game. I don't know what the odds are here, but I'm gonna go with the Jags simply because they're home for whatever home field advantage is worth this year. They do have fans in the stands, so for whatever that's worth, I'm gonna stick with the Jags.
Can I just say screw all three of you for going against me, and I take it personally. But go on.
Well, what about we say screw you for going against us?
That's right. You broke the trend.
I think that I am the rebel. You are all a part of the system.
Without a cause.
And you all suck.
All right. Next up, the Bengals. Burrow's going to see a real tough defense this week as they play the Colts. Bengals and Colts this week. We'll start with you, Keith, so we can tell you how wrong you are.
I'm probably sure you are. Because I think I did go against the popular belief in this week. And I went with the Bengals. I just think the Bengals are primed to win. I think the Bengals, coming off last week, I think they're going to go ahead and I think they're going to eke this game out. I don't think it's going to be some kind of second coming
Please
or blowout.
make
But
that be the last time you say "eek" on the show. Don't do that again.
eek. I want to, and if you don't say that, I'm going to eek you.
Eek.
Eek.
All right.
See what you got to
Timmy.
do, Anthony.
I am going with the Colts of Indianapolis to win this game.
Yeah.
No
and
reason.
Keith,
The Colts are going to beat the Colts are going to beat Indianapolis. I'm there
I'm
for
winning the
that
Colts
one.
of
Me
Indianapolis.
too. I'm picking the Colts to beat Indianapolis. I just gotta
listen. From Keith, by the way, from again back to my fantasy team. From your lips to Joe Mixon's ears. Need another solid game there. But by the way, Anthony, my first two picks in this year's draft was Saquon Barkley and Mixon.
Oh, gosh.
And Mixon so based on that, what do you think my record is?
I mean, you've had a couple of good weeks now for Mixon in a row. What, three solid games in a row here, or at least two?
It was
2 and 3,
1.5.
1.5, 2. Well, I mean, it really depends on who you took in like the third and fourth. I mean, if you had another dud anywhere there, then you're in trouble.
That is what Raphael and I always spoke about. You know, the drafts are one of the middle rounds. You know,
Absolutely.
Leagues are one of the middle rounds. So I'm 4-1, baby. I'm 4-1.
Oh, there you go. So you hit
got-
some homers then on the next couple of picks.
Just real quick, I have Kyler Murray at quarterback. I got Mixon, who his last two games hit 43 and 11. Before that, it was all single digits. I was getting a little annoyed there. Chris Carson. I got Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp. I got Higbee at tight end, and then my bench scored almost as much as my roster this week. I got Henderson and Gaskin, Ruggs, who was huge, Slayton, Deontay Johnson, who just came back, and McLaurin.
It's great depth. Nothing wrong with that.
You know what you don't have though? An absence of a bald spot.
A bald spot, like a bald head, bald spot. All right.
I wouldn't
I
mess
think
with you if I didn't love you.
Anthony, we're missing you on this one. Bengals and Colts.
Does anyone else as a football fan feel so cheated to see how good this Colts offensive line and defense has become, and now they don't have the quarterback to go with it? Like imagine if this team had Andrew Luck right now. Like we'd be talking about them as like them and the Chiefs would be the AFC powerhouses right
Do
now.
you think there was something more to Luck retiring so early, or do you think that he just was like, I got where I can get, and I want to be with my family now?
Everyone always kind of compared him to, or said he was kind of like a different kind of character. I mean, they talked about the fact that he didn't get a cell phone until he was in the NFL, and then even when he got a cell phone, it was like a flip phone. Which to me, it just seems odd. I'm sure that those early years in Indianapolis where he was just beaten and battered every year, and I know he talked about a little bit, every offseason, having to do the whole offseason instead of going and spending time with family, you're rehabbing, you're dealing with surgeries and everything like that. I'm sure that mentally that could really wear on you, taking away all that personal time. So it's unfortunate the way that it went, because obviously the people that they have running the show now and Frank right there as a head coach, they've got an amazing system. It's a shame that they didn't go after Tom Brady and chose Phillip Rivers instead, because even with Brady there right now, I think that they're might be the best, one of the best teams in the AFC.
Right? Their draft picks have been really phenomenal, and I honestly also can't blame Andrew Luck for just bowing out, because really, if you look at Peyton Manning's career, he got slaughtered.
I remember back when he was in the AFC East.
yeah, he got slaughtered so bad before they put the talent around him. And Andrew Luck was probably experiencing all this stuff, and he's like, you know what? He comes from a family where they're all, he wasn't a hard off family, so he was just like, I guess he figured to himself, well, listen, I'm done. I got my experience, and peace.
Hey,
peace.
I
See you later.
respect the hell out of him for that.
But the Manning family they're built off of championships. From father all the way to both sons.
Anthony, one thing that we use to battle back these people that are talking about Daniel Jones was Tim found a great comparison, and again we weren't comparing the two overall, obviously at the end of their career, but through their first 16 games, Daniel Jones 3-13, Peyton Manning 3-13. Daniel Jones had more passing yards, same amount of touchdowns, less interceptions, probably more fumbles. But that just goes to show you don't give up. Imagine they would have given up on Peyton Manning. Just think about it. And again, I prefaced it by saying we're not comparing the two at the end of their career, and I'm not going to say that Daniel Jones is going to be anywhere near Peyton Manning. Maybe not. But after 16 games, it proves a low football IQ on the part of the people saying that you just don't know football.
Yeah, and I know that we're running extremely long, so not to like over exaggerate or drag this out, but truth of the matter is, the real world, you do not have a quarterback who is successful after 2 or 3 years. It's just not the way it works. Sometimes you have your Tom Brady's who happen to pop in late season for another quarterback and have this huge success go forward. It
wasn't his first year, don't forget.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. That was his second season though.
But it was his first season starting.
Right.
So you also have your Green Bay situation where you're a star quarterback who you would never imagine leaving your starting position. And then boom, you got this other quarterback that comes in and he's a little bit of a different dynamic and he drives you to just almost as much success. There is that factor where you feel you're not sure what is coming next. I'll tell you what, when it comes to our quarterback, changing the subject real quick, our quarterback, that is our case. Chill out, relax. Our quarterback will be good. He will lock things down. He's got the talent, but he is the type of quarterback who needs pocket presence. You don't have pocket presence if your ass is on the ground.
Exactly.
Every other down.
1.2 seconds after the ball is snapped.
Yeah. And I'm a Giant fan, so every point I make will always go back to the Giants, so I apologize for that.
But it is what it is. You guys talked about this earlier, though. Even some of like the big plays that they had against the Cowboys, like they were broken plays that somehow still worked, and that's just a testament to how terrible the Cowboys' defense is. But I mean, on like the end around, they were in the backfield. Like it's just a couple of those plays, man. Yeah,
I think it's half and half. I think you have to say it's half how good Daniel Jones as a young quarterback is able to recognize and make a play, and half how crappy he's
definitely learning to make quick decisions.
Well, yeah,
And let me say, as far as the Colts go, if they don't re-sign Quentin Nelson fast, he will be a New York Giant.
Whatever money he wants, just give it to him.
Only because, again, I'm not tooting my horn, but I have 6 degrees of separation with Quentin Nelson. I know his family. I know his family's family. They're from here. He wants to be here. He wants to play here. So as long as the Colts don't roll out the Brinks truck, he will be a New York Giant in the next few years. I can almost guarantee it.
I always love when offensive linemen have highlight videos, and his highlight videos are really fun to watch.
Yeah.
So Tim, what would you say around? This is season 3, episode 8, I think, or 7. So what do you think about season 5, episode 8? We'll have him on.
I hope so. Well, I don't know him that well yet. I know the family of the family. So I'm like, it's 6 degrees, but it's still there.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's some type of connection. All right,
just tell me you're ready for me.
He's a Giants fan. He wants to play for the Giants. So hey, as long as they don't roll off that ridiculous contract, he will be a Giant in the next few years.
This is breaking news from Timmy Tabala.
That's right.
Also known as Dax Ankle. Next up, the Chicago Bears. The Bears head to Carolina to play the Panthers. Keith, who you got on this one?
I took the Bears. Just because I think the Panthers are crap.
Hey, Anthony, we'll go with yours next, but is right now, and it might seem a little weird to say, is Teddy Bridgewater the best quarterback in that division?
Oh, wow. Gosh. You have to it might not even be that hard of a question, honestly.
Right? The fact that you even think about it.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of years ago, that's
a joke.
And I mean, well, here, let's do this then. How good are the Saints right now if they have Teddy Bridgewater instead of Drew Brees?
Yeah.
They might be thinking that maybe they should have brought him back and let Drew walk.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, golly, I hadn't thought about that. You're probably right. I mean, I would probably take him over Matt Ryan right now too, who's looking like.
Mhm.
I mean, he's not quite as old as Drew, but he looks like it's starting to catch up to him too.
Right.
Oof, man. Well, I mean, Tom's been all right though, or he looked all right last week. We'll say at least, or 2 weeks ago, I guess it was when he had the
2
5
weeks ago.
touchdown
Yeah, that
against
was the
Chargers.
5 touchdown. This last week kind of blew up on him against
Against the
Bears.
he forgot it was 4th down, so that's
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
Did you hear what he did, though? Did you hear him screaming like a baby?
Oh yeah.
How come no one told me it was 4th down? It's like, what do you mean? Who has to
And
tell you all these things? You should know these things.
You don't have
You're-
Belichick.
I would have
You're
loved to have heard the conversation between him and Bruce Arians about that.
Awesome.
Bruce
dude.
Arians-
Awesome.
Bruce
Hey,
Arians would
Ruben,
have thanked
thanks.
bright red.
You know what's
Thanks for
crazy? Bridgewater's what? 26, 27?
Yeah, about there.
They didn't give him the shot he deserves. You can arguably say that. What if he becomes the next franchise quarterback for Carolina?
Well,
What if
wouldn't
Carolina through draft builds their system, and in 2 years, all of a sudden, Teddy Bridgewater
well,
is
how many games did the Panthers win last year? Was it 5, 6?
I don't know, 5 or 6.
And he's already got them to 3 this year. They're 3-2. And
Without
wouldn't it be
McCaffrey.
funny without McCaffrey and Mike Davis? I mean, Davis has been a beast in there. That really says something about that offensive line because Teddy Bridgewater can run around. You probably put any number of running backs in that backfield and get some good output there.
To circle back even further into what we were talking about before, we're talking about free agents that have left teams, and people that left the Steelers. What about people that left the Jets, like Robbie Anderson, who's been amazing for Carolina?
Perfect example. When he would, and I always relate it back to fantasy. Once every 5 games, he'd put up that 100-yard game.
Yeah.
Everything else would be 5 catches for 43 yards and middling type of stuff.
Exactly.
And how funny would it be that the Saints let Bridgewater go because of potential, the injury that the devastating injury that he had a couple years prior, and that may have played a role in it. And the Dolphins did that with Drew Brees. The Saints didn't do that with Drew Brees, and it kind of goes a little
history
hand in hand
repeating itself, but in reverse.
Right.
It's pretty interesting.
Exactly.
Interesting way to look at it. It's actually even funnier if you think about the 3 teams that had rostered Bridgewater prior to Carolina: Minnesota, the Jets, and the Saints. All 3 of them could probably use him right now. Even Minnesota.
But you see, I can say Bridgewater is a quarterback who can win you stuff in your franchise. I would say Drew Brees is more of a quarterback who will win for you in a franchise. Bridgewater is more of a system, not to be, yes.
Tammy's starting again.
Not to be funny, but Bridgewater is more of a system quarterback. Yes, he is good. Yes, he can make decisions on the fly. Can he do what Brees does?
Well, now, yes. What Brees did before, probably no. No, definitely.
But Anthony, sometimes it's always here. Sometimes it's here.
I'll agree with that.
And not here.
But even you got to remember, even Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl and led the league in interceptions that last year in Denver.
Right, and Nationwide is always on his side. But if you look at, sorry,
You're good.
Let's continue on here.
I think Bridgewater. I don't think Bridgewater has the football smarts Brees has. Although Brees is about done, I don't think Bridgewater is anywhere near where Brees.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Is at his same age. I think he can get there, but I don't think it's there yet. I don't think so.
All right. So let's continue on with Bears and Panthers. Anthony, who's your pick in that one?
Going with Carolina. I know Nick Foles has these games every one, or he can beat the Patriots, and apparently he could win games when he comes in as the backup. but I don't think that's happening with this Bears team. I'm not expecting no crazy Eagles run or anything like that. And the Panthers are rolling. Defense is actually starting to come around a little bit for them too. Very young defense, but it is starting to come around.
For sure. Timmy, did we get to you? I know, Keith took us
No,
in 17 different
this
directions.
is a rough game. This is a
Shame
rough
on.
game to pick too. But I'm actually going to go with the Bears on this one. I don't
The
know why.
Bears!
But I'm taking the Bears on this game.
It's that gut instinct.
So I think the Panthers have a really good shot. I'm just kidding.
Thanks. Thank you for that. All right. Next up, division rivalry game. We talked about this a little bit earlier, and that division games doesn't matter who sucks, who's great. How vast the difference is between the two teams at that particular time. You play up to your division rival. I don't know if that's going to happen this week, but the Jets head down here to South Florida to play the Dolphins. We'll start with the Dolphin fan here. We'll start with you, Anthony.
So the Jets cut their running back. They didn't fire their head coach, so they don't get no extra morale boost this week. And that team is just in shambles. I think they have some interesting pieces, but Gase is just terrible. And that terrible is putting it nicely. The Dolphins are going to win. The spread's like 9.5 points. I don't know if we're covering that, but they're going to win. Dolphins are going to win that one.
Do you know? With Le'Veon Bell, when the Jets signed him, he was the all-time, on average, leader in scrimmage yards, right?
Yards per game. He led NFL history.
And now, since joining the Jets, in the 17 games that he played with the Jets, that average has gone down from 119 or thereabouts to 87. That's how bad he has sucked with the Jets. That's how bad. 30-yard on average. That's how bad he was. He had games in the 20s. It never happened with Pittsburgh. Never. Absolutely never happened with Pittsburgh. But back to the game, I'm going to go with the Dolphins. The Jets are just – there's just no – the skill position players are just like – there's no talent. Who's your running back now? Who's your number one wide receiver? Who's your tight end? Like these guys are just they're the Giants have the same record, but don't compare the Giants' skill position players on offense to the Jets' skill position players, because that's night and day, and that just makes me a little bit more depressed as to how it can be as bad as the Jets. But I'm gonna go with the Dolphins here. It's an easy pick. First time this year I picked the Dolphins. Dax Ankle, over to you.
Same here. I think they're going to wipe the fucking floor with the Jets, to be honest with you. And I'm sorry, George, if you are watching or if this gets back to you. I think the Jets just give up. Like I don't think they play with heart. I don't think they play with fire or passion. I think they're just like, whatever. And Adam Gase, come on, give me a break with Adam Gase. Worst hiring ever. I mean, you saw that guy coach twice a year, every year, because he was the Dolphins. He was terrible. Terrible. So you go out and you sign him? Come on. That's the organization's in shambles. And I'm sorry, George, but yeah, I don't think they play with any kind of fire or heart. So I am going with the Fins. Fins up.
What do you mean? What's heart? What's fire? Keith, who you got in this one?
Well, it's a difficult choice.
Yeah.
Because we're going between, do I root for my South
Tim,
Florida people, or
pick with your head,
or
not
do
with your
I
heart.
do I root for my Jets?
What?
There we go. Jets suck. Dolphins are taking us. Listen, the Jets are terrible.
George is there.
Dolphins,
George just popped up.
George, I love you, brother. I love you, brother. But
listen,
they're
I'm
in shambles,
I'm not telling you the Giants are better right now, because we're not.
Oh no.
The truth of the matter is, you guys took the most horrible. Listen, I'm in South Florida, so I see it. Adam Gase, it was the worst I mean, like, I've seen bad head coaches in New York. Bad. I mean, bad on both sides of the football, NFC and AFC. Bad. He is terrible. And the Jets said, let's hire this guy to be our head coach.
He doesn't
Why?
have his big girl teeth.
It took like 3 days for them to decide that they want him to be their head coach. And when he was on the Dolphins, it was miserable. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And the Jets just dove headfirst into it. And I think
Need a
Adam
new
Gase.
quarterback.
It doesn't matter who they have.
Yeah, well, he definitely ruined Darnold.
They have Tom Brady in their prime, and they would still suck because he's terrible.
Because Tom Brady's
Look, he ruined Tannehill. Tannehill leaves, he becomes a great quarterback. He ruined
No,
Darnold.
well,
Darnold might go
and listen,
become a great
Faraci will
quarterback.
tell
You
you,
don't know.
Faraci will tell you, as a Giants fan, I've always said Tannehill is a very talented quarterback, and he has a lot of opportunity for success. He's just in a really bad system. Bottom line is, not to drag this out, the Jets are going to lose. And it's because of their head coach. It's not so much because of the talent. Their head coach is miserable. And sorry, Gmo. That's what it is.
On to next game. Two of the greatest quarterbacks ever in the history of the NFL. The Packers and the Bucks. So we got Rodgers, who you spoke about. Didn't mention his name, Keith, but one of the best arms ever. And Tom Brady, who is now forgetting what down it is. So, and this is in Tampa. So we'll start off with you, Anthony. Packers and Tampa.
Packers. I'm not gonna lie. I had doubts about Green Bay coming into the season. I thought their 13-3 record last year was phony, and Aaron Rodgers turning back the clocks to 2016, 2014 MVP Aaron Rodgers and the defense.
He's pissed.
Oh,
he picked the quarterback. He's pissed.
But maybe that's why they did it. They didn't no. We don't need to draft him another receiver.
Yes.
And yeah, he's unbelievable right now.
And he's doing it. He's doing it the last couple of games without his number one wide receiver.
It doesn't matter at this point.
He's throwing Lazard and what's the tight end? What's the tight end's name?
Robert Tonyan.
Yes, 3 touchdowns last week.
Yep. Oh yeah. No, I'm taking Green Bay. I think the defense too, though. I think the defense has actually looked pretty good. So I'm gonna definitely roll with Green Bay on that one.
Yeah, they have some ball hawks out there to turnovers. Timmy.
Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay all the way. You picked the Bears and you picked the Packers. I'm going with the Norm wouldn't approve of that. Picking Green Bay. I'm gonna go with the Packers also. I just think that they're too much, and I hope they get behind. I hope they get up quick, so that Evans scores a couple touchdowns. I mean, he's good. He's good for a touchdown a game. A couple of games ago, he had 2 catches, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He's their goal line running back.
Right. All right, Keith, who you got?
I definitely want the Packers. I don't think Tom Brady is a huge upgrade. Don't think they can hang with the Packers.
Hey, it's Steve Panacci.
Panacci.
But I want to take a quick step back and agree with George. And we may continue our
you
program.
make a valid
now.
point there. All right, back to the program.
Listen, if George is
Back
just
to the
coming out
program.
with that, let me tell you, it's real.
George is coming
Because
out.
George
What's up?
Panagiotis, my lifelong brother, Timmy's too, will defend his team to the end. And if he's saying that they're terrible, Tim, shake your head yes if you agree. They're terrible. George
We all agree on that.
George is a Met fan. He will defend his team to the end.
He better.
But if he's saying his team is bad, they're bad. But in defense, the Giants are bad too.
Moving right along here, the Rams head to the 49ers. I don't know who's starting at the quarterback for the 49ers. I'm not sure what's going on. But they just got blasted by the Dolphins, and now they play the Rams, who has quite the offense. Let's start off with Dak's ankle. Go ahead and break a leg.
Ram-a-lam-a ding dong. I like the Rams. Rams. That's all I'm going to say.
Thanks for the chuckle, Anthony. I needed that. Keith, who you got?
I'll go in a high-scoring game. I'll go with the Rams for the win.
All right. Ant.
Yep, I'm keeping the trend alive. The Niners offense has problems. Rams offenses look good. Rolling with the Rams.
they look good until they play the dominance of the New York Football Giants and put up 19 points and came away with a win. That's all that matters, right? All right. Next up, the Chiefs, the pissed off Chiefs. How dare we lose a game, Chiefs? Head to Buffalo to probably just like sandblast the Bills, and not because the Bills are short on talent. We've seen it; they're 4-1, but just because they're going to be looking to put up 60 points here. That's how pissed off they are. So I'm going with the Chiefs here in an easy one. Keith, who you got there?
I was going to go against the Chiefs until they lost last week. So this week I am going with the Chiefs for the win.
For the win, Timmy.
Same. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to get his smile back this week. He's going to score a lot of points.
The smile returns this week. All right, Anthony.
Total agreement. I think Mahomes goes off on Sunday. If you play DFS, might not be a bad idea. Throw him in a lineup this week.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Chiefs won last week, would you guys think this was more of a toss-up? For us?
I would still go with the Chiefs, but not as it wouldn't be as much of a
Buffalo would have
bloodbath
won.
as it's going to be.
If Buffalo would have won last night, I would have had a little more thinking to do. But now,
Tennessee exposing them like that kind of makes me wonder. You know, I mean, they played a lot of soft teams early on to start. They played us. They played the Jets. They played who was that? I like what they were doing, but I was a little skeptical. So
was Tennessee exposing them a weakness, or was it them just taking a step back because they were being cocky? And do they come back this week and hammer it down?
The defense.
Nope.
One thing McDermott always had is he always had great defenses with them, and it actually seems like they don't have a good defense at all this year.
But I think we all agree this is going to be a good game.
Yes, definitely be watching for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mahomes might have 300 yards in the first half. I don't know.
Wouldn't you?
I don't know.
And by the way, you know who needs to you think? What do you think, Anthony? Is Singletary ever going to take that step?
No, he's not a primary running back.
Yeah.
Ralph and I had hopes that Zach Moss could kind of step in. I know I had the hopes for fantasy purposes. Ralph probably had the hopes more for his Buffalo team. Bills fanship purposes, but it doesn't seem like that. And I think their willingness to kind of really, really hand the reins to Josh Allen to let him throw the ball 40 times a game now. It doesn't seem like they're worried about getting Devin Singletary, 20, 25 touches anyway.
They have an all-in-one. They have an all-in-one at quarterback.
Yeah, but he's not running.
And this is more,
which is probably smart.
Yeah. This is definitely out of love, but I just want to say to Ralph, the Cubs suck.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. The Bills, the Cubs, and the Trailblazers.
A lifelong sports, a lifelong amount of time of sports, just sad moments, just all over the place.
And a Jordan fan. I mean, what are you doing here, Ralph? Come on, come back to life and argue this. Come on.
He's arguing with you right now.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'll dream of him.
Two more games here. So it's not my night to be jumped off. No, Keith. Not the Wednesday. All right, a couple more games here. First, the Monday night game, Cardinals and the Cowboys. Cowgirls, as we say here. Is the loss of Dak enough for the Cardinals to maybe eke this one out? Timmy.
I do believe so. I think the Cardinals are going to win this game. And I mean, I have nothing against Andy Dalton. I think he's a really good quarterback. He actually might be better off on that team than Dak right now. Well, too much distractions with Dak and the money and the contracts and all that stuff. But I do think the Cardinals are going to win a close game.
Well, Booger McFarland was on last night after the game, and was it last night or the night before? Talking about how with Andy Dalton, he said the Cowboys are going to be better with Andy Dalton. People were quick to say, what are you smoking? But he feels that they can get back to the Cowboys' way of winning, which was Zeke, time to feed him, and Dalton can absolutely make the passes He took the Bengals to the playoffs 5 straight years. I don't know how accurate that is, Booger. I don't believe that to be true. But there are certainly worse options out there to have than Andy Dalton as your backup quarterback. And in this year where the division's like 4-15-1, the division's wide open because we all suck. We all suck. Anthony, we'll head down to you. Cardinals, Cowboys.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring one, but I got to stick with the Cardinals in that one. Just the loss of Dak. I do think Dalton is a fine backup. I don't know that he's going to carry them anywhere, but I mean, hey, six wins may win the division. So,
how pathetic with that. I remember making fun of the Seahawks years back. Winning the division at 7-9. But we'll see. I'm also going to go with the Cardinals. I think I don't think that defense can possibly have an answer for Kyler Murray, which selfish in fantasy. But I just don't see it happen. I mean, Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, they just don't have an answer for that type of explosive offense. I just don't think. I mean, you just saw with the Giants, who had not scored a touchdown in God knows how long, put up mid-30s scoring on them. So it'd be very interesting to see what the Cardinals can do. Keith, who you got in this one?
I mean, Cardinals offense is amazing. I mean, Kyler Murray every year has gotten better and better, but I truly believe the Cowboys are going to ride the high of beating the Giants. It's something you have to take into account. That just beating the Giants.
Tim, I didn't know we had a Cowboys fan on the show.
I mean, I love them boys. Wow. Let me go stare myself in the eye after saying that. But beating the Giants for the Cowboys is the same as us beating the Cowboys. It's a high, and they're riding into that Arizona game on a high, and I think they are going to beat the Cardinals. I'm picking the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to come in here riding on a high. I think Kyler Murray is going to have a bad game. I think the defense is going to be all over him, and Cowboys are going to look tough. Let's go,
Keith,
Cowboys.
Keith, you see Anthony's new name? Perfect.
All right. Hold on, watch this. You want to see my response to that? There you go.
There we go. I thought maybe put him drop him in a different position there. What's up, Ronald? Thanks for tuning in. Steve Panacci,
my boy Ron. What's up, Ron?
My namesake. All right, so now we'll back it up a little bit to the Giants game. Anthony, what we normally do is when we pick the Giants game, we pick the score because that's the name of our game here. So we'll start off with you, Keith. Put some pressure on Keith. The Washington football team. I am a Cowboy. The Washington football team plays the New York Football Giants this week. Do the Giants get their first victory of the year? Keith.
Nope.
What's the score? Jeez.
I think the Giants are going to win 24-17.
Holy crap.
No.
That's exactly what I'm picking. Exactly the same thing. They get their first win 24-17. Keith, it must be mind-melding.
That's why he's so adorable to me, Timmy.
All right, well, there goes the surprise there. Anthony, who you got in this one?
I actually will take the Giants, and not just because I'm on the show. That Washington football team is really bad. And I thought Ron Rivera would be. I thought Ron Rivera would be a good thing for them, but I'm really questioning some of the decisions he's making. Leaving Alex Smith out there to get sacked 6-7 times last week, that was painful to watch. I mean, the first time Aaron Donald sacked him, Aaron Donald jumps on his back, takes him to the ground. Aaron Donald checks on him before he goes to celebrate the sack, because that's how worried people are about hitting this guy. Anyways, I'm actually going to go 16-9. I actually like the Washington football team's front seven defensively. And I think it'll keep the game a little bit lower scoring. So I'm going to go 16-9 Giants.
That's why your name is not Giants or Die.
I'm gonna, as weird as, I mean, you just kind of mentioned it, Anthony. The Washington football team's defense is better than the Cowboys defense, and won't go any further than that. But I'm gonna pick the Giants for the first time. Did I pick the Giants? I picked the Giants against the Bears, didn't I? So for the first time this year, I'm gonna be right when I pick the Giants. I'm going with a lower scoring game also, not quite as low as you, Anthony. I'm going to go 17-14. But I mean, it's only a touchdown and I feel a little different from what the guys said. So, Panacci, are you picking the Redskins here? Or is that just a compliment on the D line? We'll see here in a second. All right, so that's our picks for the week. Anthony, we appreciate the shit out of you coming on.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate you watching. Obviously, that was the first step. And appreciate you coming on. It was an honor to have you on to do the picks. Maybe we can do it again one day.
Absolutely, man. We'll be in touch for sure. Thank you guys so much for having me on. It's been a blast. I had a lot of fun doing it. You guys take care, man. It was, like I said, I had a lot of fun.
Anthony, love you, bro. Is there any ideas of you doing podcasts in the future? I'm Culture Pro Network or?
Well, I mean, Ralph and I had the podcast. We're gonna start it back up here soon, and Steve and I'm sure we'll be in communication going forward. We'll figure something out.
Until you get settled, we got a couple out here. We'd love you to pop in each and every time.
Absolutely, man. I'd love it. I'd love it. Bro. That, like I said, thank you guys again. And if I didn't say it earlier, the episode you guys put out the other day talking about Ralph, man. Thank you guys. That was beautiful. Thank you all.
That was all from the cuff. Farachi put me on the spot. I don't claim any responsibility for my
it definitely touched though on how special of a person he was.
He was. It is
meant a lot to me, and I know it meant a lot to the family to hear that. So
yeah, we love him.
Thank you guys.
I know I can say for sure he will forever live in my heart.
100%.
I love that big galoot.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh at what you just said. I just noticed what your new name was. So.
You good, man. No worries.
17
all right,
Anthony, the week out or Giants or Die.
All right, Anthony. We'll be in touch. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, guys. You all take it easy.
Right. Absolutely. Have a good one, bro. That was really cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah.
Good outside perspective too. Keep us in check.
Absolutely. All right.
But Tim is still hot.
Yeah. With his hat on, I'm hot.
I didn't get warm today. I got my fan working. I become an electrician in this house. All right. So Steve says I always say the Giants will win. The Giants will win this week. I do believe that will happen. All right. So let's get to closing arguments here. Closing remarks. We went over, but I'm okay with that this week. Had a blast with Anthony coming on to do the picks. So Tim, any closing remarks before we go? How'd the surgery go? All good? You're back together now?
Me? What? I didn't have no surgery yet. What talking about
Dak's ankle.
Oh, Dak's ankle? No, he's done.
Yeah.
He's done for the year. He's gone. No, I think the Giants finally win this week. If they don't win this week, then basically I'm going to root for an 0-16 season just because why not? Let's get that top pick and sell it to the highest bidder for as much as we can get.
Sell it, baby.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. Big girl teeth, how you doing down there?
It's just
Keith, when you pass and when we're spreading your ashes, I'm gonna say that's the big girl teeth. That's the big girl teeth.
And you know what I would love?
Girl.
Okay, real quick, and I'm taking no more than 20 seconds on this. When I die, just for the record, so it's out there in the internet universe, I don't want a body. I don't want you coming up and looking at my dead freaking body all day. I want my ashes just in an urn. I want a pile of bongs packed around my urn, liquor bottles and beer. Come up, take a bong hit, a shot, and talk shit about me.
A Mets and Giants urn. Oh, that's Tim. We could talk shit about him the entire time we're there.
Exactly, but no, it's good. I love it. You got to come up. Hey, Tim, Steve, I'm about to die in a week. Do you want to come stare at my body for 2 hours? It's just weird.
I'll give you
I
Wet
know,
Willie.
I know every
Nope.
family is different. Tim looked away. You saw that? What is
Tim
it?
like it gets it.
I know every family is different, and if that's what you like, that's fine. I'm not criticizing anybody, but that's just what I want. But anyway, what was the question?
Final comment.
Closing remarks.
I got 2 final comments. Number one is we really need to really pick up this offensive line game. Yes, I do believe the guys we have in the O-line are talented, but they're playing like they're not talented at all. They need to wake up. Our coaching staff really needs to get them in gear, and we need to minimize penalties. So I remember when I think it was 2005 or 2006 when Coach Coughlin first came in, and he really just kind of like started hammering down on discipline. And a certain guy by the name of Fuckface Barber, am I allowed to say that on there? Tiki Barber decided to leave.
We've opened it up. PopCulturePros.com.
He decided to leave the team because of pop culture. Because he didn't like the discipline that was being handed down. Well, guess what, you little punk ass bitch? When you went and cried about the discipline that was being handed down, everybody else adhered to it. We won a Super Bowl championship. So that's kind of what we need. We need that discipline. I think Judge is going to bring it. The guy just came in. You can't judge him right away. Some of the stuff on our We Stomped You Out page on Facebook, and if you're not there, you should be there. We have put up some of the positives, such as, like for example, Danny Dimes' first 2 years versus Peyton Manning's first 2 years. Some of the defense, how we have completely stepped it up on defense. Problem is, we're 0-5. It takes a lot to get to the point where you can be 5-0. Is that funny that we're 0-5?
Yeah, you're no, just the way you were like, we got to do this, and that, but we're 0-5.
It's terrible. We're fucking horrible. Anyway, bottom line is we got a lot of improvement to go, but we're getting there. We got a good coaching staff in place. We got a good talent in place. A couple of draft picks and some free agency picks. We will get there. Shut the hell up. Stop crying. Not to get all Rodriguez on you and tell you how you should feel about your team, but you should just kind of just be a little more patient with how we feel and how we're doing right now with the Giants. We will
Shots
get there.
getting fired all week. Shots getting fired this week. This is shots fired a week. All right, I'm not going to take too long on my my closing remarks. I know Tim, you must be starving right now. You not get a chance. He's like,
I'm hungry.
He's watching everybody else eat. All right, so just real quick, head over to the news site popculturepros.com. On YouTube, we're Pop Culture Pros on YouTube. You can find us there. You might be watching there right now. And then on Instagram and Twitter, it's popculture_pros. That's what that's where you go for that. We like I said, we just did our very first giveaway, and ton more to come there. So let's start building up the community. Get that website out there. Share us out. Have them like the fan page is Pop Culture Pros. The Pop Culture Pros group on Facebook is where you can go to talk all things pop culture with us. And of course, we stomped you out. Go ahead and get an invite out there. Also, we accept everybody. We love you all. So help us build that community as well. And that'll wrap it up for this week. No Thursday night game this week. It feels weird. We have to wait all the way out. That's a selling point to my wife. The Tuesday game is in place of the Thursday game. Boom! Exactly, right there. All right, so we'll have football coming this Sunday. Until then, follow us online all over the place. We'll give you any updates on any injuries or whatnot coming this week. Hopefully, settle injuries. Until then, we will talk to you later. Peace out.
What about Tim? We didn't hear Tim's last time.
Who's your big? That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Who's your big teeth? That's it.
All right. See you guys.
Little girl got big girl teeth.